Have you ever wondered how to really, truly connect with someone? Well, today we're going to unpack a super powerful technique that's actually hidden inside a pretty simple story. It's a way to build rapport that honestly works with anyone in just about any situation.
So, at its heart, this is a story about a sales pitch that was absolutely destined to fail. I mean, by all accounts, it was totally dead on arrival.
But here's the twist. It wasn't a failure at all. It somehow transformed into a massive success. So how did that happen? Well, that's exactly what we're about to get into.
Okay, so how did this impossible turnaround even happen? To really get the lesson here, we first got to set the scene for what we're calling the impossible sale.
All right, so picture this. The deck is completely stacked against our guy. On one side, you have a young, pretty green ad salesman, and he's basically convinced he's about to fail. On the other side, a successful independent record store owner who, frankly, doesn't need a single thing. The power imbalance couldn't be more obvious. So, just for a second, put yourself in his shoes. Your whole prepared pitch, it's totally useless. The client is doing just fine without you and is probably pretty impatient. What's your move? How do you even begin to start a real conversation here? And this brings us right to the pivot point, the one single move that completely flipped the entire dynamic of the room. So the salesman, he takes one look at his prepared script and just throws the whole thing out the window. He realized his only real move wasn't to talk, but to listen. So instead of launching into a pitch, he asked just one simple question. And that was it. That was the game-changing question. Not, what are your Q3 advertising goals, or can I tell you about our new rates? Nope. Just a simple, open-ended, and genuinely curious question about the owner's personal story. So, what happened next? Well, let's take a look at the incredible chain reaction that this one moment of genuine curiosity set off.
The owner didn't just give a short one-sentence answer. He talked for a full hour. I mean, think about that for a second. An entire hour of storytelling, all sparked by a single, simple question.
And he wasn't just talking business. He was talking about his life, the sacrifices, the struggles, like sleeping on a cot in the back room, constantly juggling debt. He shared the whole long journey that led to his success, and in doing so, made himself completely vulnerable.
In that one conversation, just completely snowballed. It kicked off with an hour-long story, which led to an invitation to lunch. That lunch then turned into a signed year-long advertising contract. And as a cool little bonus, the owner even threw in some free albums for the salesman. So why did this work so well? What's really at the heart of this? Because it goes way beyond just a sales tactic. This is about the art of genuine curiosity. You see, the real pitch had absolutely nothing to do with advertising. The real product being offered here was the gift of feeling truly seen and heard. The salesman made the owner feel like his story mattered, that he was interesting, and that's a feeling you just can't put a price on. And this really illustrates the huge difference. A standard pitch is all about my product and my needs. It's basically an attempt to make me seem interesting. But a genuine question, it flips that completely. It focuses on their story, with the goal of making them feel interesting. It turns a monologue into a real dialogue. And remember this, the person who pulled this off was not a master salesman. He had almost no formal skills to speak of. What he did have was something way more powerful, authentic curiosity. This isn't a technique that takes years to master. It's a mindset you can literally adopt right now. So, let's zoom out here. This isn't just a sales story. It's a blueprint for human connection. You could almost call it your universal pitch. The source for this story really puts it perfectly. This is the real pitch. Making someone feel heard and valued is the single most effective tool you have for connection, and it works in every single room you walk into. Just think about all the places you can use this. A job interview isn't just about listing your skills, it's about really connecting with the interviewer. At a networking event, instead of just handing out business cards, ask someone their story. If you're managing a team, ask what truly drives them. For dates, family get-togethers, the applications are absolutely endless. So the big takeaway is this. The most interesting people are often the most interested people. Everyone has a story they're just waiting to tell. All it takes to hear it is a simple, genuine question. So the only real question left is, whose story will you unlock next?